What's up guys, Spartan85, and today we're doing a all about kind of mining tutorial, especially for beginners or people maybe coming over from legacy version to the new console version. Let's start with the basics, what each ore is and how to find it. Well, you can walk around in circles trying to find different ores if you want. There's stone here. You don't get raw iron anymore from stone, so keep that in mind. If you're a legacy console player, there's no more raw iron, there's just standard iron now. But here is lead right here. You can kind of walk around and find it, or if you want, let me back off just a little bit and I'll go to my map. You can actually find these on the map. And lead, I'll go and cover lead real quick. Lead is like a light blue tone. It's right here. So it's right, that's what it looks like on the map. Let's go to iron is red. So these little red marks right here, let's go there. Underneath this tree, it's kind of hard to see. Let me get rid of this tree. But this is what iron looks like, and like I said, raw iron is gone. Now we just have standard iron, and my block damage is 300%. That's why it's going so fast. But that's iron, and then below it, you can harvest more. You just keep banging away at this, and it'll go down. Eventually, you'll hit gravel, and you'll want to dig out the gravel. When you get down here, eventually you'll kind of start finding a little less iron. It's still down here. You just got to dig around this stuff. This is all stone. There's some more iron here. Sometimes you got to dig out the stone or the clay and to find the iron. There's another piece of the iron there. You'll just keep going down. Just make sure you do have a way up. Either build a shaft back out or whatever works. Here's what gravel looks like right here. It's going to give you sand and a little bit different ores and stuff. You want to dig this out. Also, when you're digging down and you find gravel, that usually means you're very close to another ore. But look at all the iron that's down here. There's a whole bunch more iron. You just have to dig around the ore to find more when you get down here. These little gray blocks here are just stones. If you see these, don't get confused by these. Those are just regular old stones. The black boxes here, right here, that's going to be coal. Let's go down there. Here's what coal looks like. And then the bright white boxes are going to be nitrate powder. Let's go down there, and here is your nitrate powder right here. And if you are walking by ores and you happen to see them, feel free to mark these on the map. I like to do that early game, so I remember where they are. You can just go here, you can mark save waypoint, click on X, and you might mark nitrate if you want. Mark nitrate. You can also do that if you happen to mine just the top part and you want to come back to the bottom part, you can do that. I know early game all we have is the stone axe, so sometimes it's easier to come back when we have a better pickaxe. And I just want to point out, you don't have to be in a particular biome to find the ores like you did have the legacy version. Now you just, they're everywhere. They're in every biome, and like there's nitrate and there's iron there. Oil shale can only be found in the desert. It shows up on the map as this little light brown spot. It's pretty hard to see on the map, but it can only be found in the desert. So here's oil shale right here, and it's just the same as the other ores. You just mine it, you mine straight down. It's going to give you oil shale, and then you have to put this in the chem station to make gasoline. Couple things to have on you when you're mining that help out a little bit is, well, one is coffee, which you can brew in the campfire with coffee grounds and water. They're nice. That helps you with stamina regen when you're mining or just doing anything in general. Blackstrap coffees are a little better. It's 25% regen. You can brew these. You can also buy them from the trader or the vending machine. I usually just buy them or just find them and loot. That's usually what I do. Mega crushes are harder to find nowadays. It only gives you 15% stamina regen, but the run speed is 50%. My personal favorite for mining is the rock busters. It gives you 20% harvest for all your mining for 6 minutes. So if you're going to mine for a while, I highly suggest using the rock busters. A couple perks that go along with mining is Miner's 69er. It's going to cause more damage to the particular block that you're hitting. So if you're hitting trees or stone, the block damage is going to go up 30% with level 1. Stamina costs are reduced by 8 and 15% for power attacks. So 8% better stamina just on level 1 Miner 69er, and then it goes up further from there. Your stamina and your block damage get better. So this is really good for mining. But keep in mind that only correlates to the damage done to the block. You have to go into mother load if you want to harvest more per hit. Like the first mother load is 20% more ore from stone, terrain blocks, and trees with any axe, pick, shovel, or chainsaw or auger. Then it goes up to 40%, then 60, then 80, then 100. So these two go really good together. If you're doing a lot of mining, you're trying to mine for, cobblestone rocks or concrete mix, these two go along very well. Now I'm going to go over my early game mine that I like to do, and if you guys want to emulate this or do something like that, you can. This is just my early mine. So let's say my base is, I don't know, over here. I'm going to put this block here. This is where my base is, whatever base I have built. I don't like to mine inside my base. I used to, but anymore, if you get screamers or a wandering horde and you're down in your mine, and then before you know it, when you come up, they're breaking down your doors and tearing down your storage. I like to build my mines off to the side. So, and you don't have to have an ore for this. If you happen to have an ore, that's even better, but you don't have to have an ore on the top for this. What I like to do is I like to just start with just a simple structure. All right, then I'll throw down a door and a hatch. This just keeps the Z-bags off your case, and you can upgrade this to cobblestone if you want. I just did wood because most of the time early game, all we have access to is wood and maybe a little cobblestone. Now, early game, you're mainly after stone, so you can start making cobblestone. So that's why this type of mine is okay. And then you're also after iron, of course. And usually we'll get lucky and find some iron, hopefully. But I like to go 3 blocks wide, like this. And once you get down here, you can take your building blocks and start building up. And you want to build this up here so you have something to stand on if you are fighting Z-bags. Then what I like to do is grab your building blocks and then take half, sort them to the other side. It's usually X or square, I believe, on controller. Sort them to half, and then take 1/2 and turn them into ladders. So you're going to hold it, go to your shapes, which is I think square and X also. Grab a ladder, and then you're just going to put this down like this. And it's better if you can upgrade these before you put the ladders on, but if you don't worry about it. And you don't necessarily have to upgrade these if you're trying to save resources, but that's how we do it. And I just make a mine shaft like this. So I go down a little bit. I'm going to upgrade this, put down a ladder, like, well, maybe like that. And I'll upgrade those here in a little bit. Then you just keep going down. You just repeat this process. Now I've hit stone. So about 4 blocks down, I hit stone. So we'll just go ahead and start mining the stone. And you can go down as far as you want. There's no, I think Legacy console version, 30 blocks deep, used to hit ores. Really, you can hit an ore at any level on 1.0 right now. So let's just go down. We've gone down a little ways. We're getting stone right now, which is great. We need stone. You can also just harvest clay soil at the top if you want. But let's go ahead and start actually making a mine. Let's just start. What I usually do is I just make a cave, basically, while I'm doing it. What I'm doing right now is I'm looking for gravel. I'm harvesting stone, of course, but I'm also looking for gravel. Once you find gravel, that means you're close to an ore, I'm sorry. And yes, I know I'm using a steel pickaxe. You can use your stone pick if you want. I'm just using the steel pickaxe to speed things up is all I'm trying to do. All right, and then eventually after you get a little ways, it's kind of personal preference. I like to be kind of conservative with this, but I will put down some pillars, and we're just doing that. You can upgrade them because they'll hold up a little bit more if you do upgrade them. Now that's going to keep it from collapsing on your head. Now you have a couple choices. You can go down further if you want, or you can go sideways. So let's look at the map here, and this is one thing you can do. I have a nitrate vein to my, looks like west, and I have a, what is that? A lead vein to my northeast. Let's go to the west. All right, we hit our first patch of gravel, as you can see, and now this is lead underneath. Now, if you can't see down here, I recommend bringing down some torches and just throwing some torches up, but this is what gravel looks like. So when you find gravel, you know you've hit some type of patch, and so we've hit lead for that, and I don't think this one's even shown up on the map. We're actually underneath a road. So now we've hit our first patch, and so you can just mine this out if you want. And if you run out of the particular ore, just keep digging out this gravel. You'll find more, and I recommend digging out the gravel. Keep in mind, though, gravel will collapse if you dig out too much of it, so maybe put in supports. But sometimes if you dig out all the gravel, you'll get lucky and find another ore. It looks like we're just finding lead down here is what we're finding. And if you didn't hear that, I have a screamer coming in. So keep in mind, even just using a steel pickaxe, you can spawn in screamers, especially with this current version. Screamers love to come in. So we have a screamer now. That's why this is exactly why I don't like to use my actual base for mining. So just keep that in mind. But this is how I do my mine. So, and then what I'll do up here, I didn't show you guys this, I'll put a block here, upgrade that, and then I will make a hatch. Let's bring this down, and I'll put a hatch on top of this. Put it however you want. I'll put it like that. And now you have access to it. You can close that. Make sure to keep this closed, so if you do have a screamer show up, you have this, but there's your mine shaft, and do whatever you want with this. Like I said, I went west, pick a direction, go, and you'll find an ore. Hopefully you'll find iron, because that's what we want early game. But lead's there. You can probably go another direction and find another ore, or just keep going down. But the nice thing is we found a ton of stone, which we need stone and clay to make cobblestone rocks. All right, so now on to the forges and what I like to do with mining and forges. I like to have 3 forges if you can. I know that's hard early game, but craft the forges. 2 is fine for a while because you'll need iron, and then 1 for brass and lead. But here's the iron forge here, and what I'll do is I'll just throw my iron in here. And you can actually, if you want to, you can put them in here and you can split the stacks, and that'll burn faster. But you're going to need to burn down some clay soil too. So let's put some clay soil in there. And this one now smelting down iron, so we can make early game. You're going to need forged iron, and you're going to need iron arrowheads. That's the 2 main things you're going to need. Also, a cooking pot and a cooking grill can be made out of here. Eventually, you'll probably need nails for the workbench, and then short iron pipes can be made in here too. But that's what I'll do with the first forge. Is that'll just be my iron only forge. That's all it's doing all the time. Next one will be my brass and lead forge, and I really didn't cover brass because it's not mineable. You have to find that and loot, and you have to scrap things. So looting, scrapping, buying it from the trader is all good things to find brass. But when you have brass and lead, this will be my brass and lead forge. You'll have to smelt that down. You also have to smelt down clay soil too, so keep that in mind. But this is what I'll use for that. And then when you have enough, I like to use this one just for bullet casings and bullet tips is what I like to do. Bullet casings and bullet tips. So that's all that I really smelt out of this forge. And then the last forge I use just for stone, and you'll find it easier to have its own forge eventually. You can use the iron forge for the stone, but I think, like I said, you'll find it easier eventually just to put stone in here. And I like to split the stacks and turn this on and get this thing going. And we're going to smelt down stone, and all I use this for is cement. I just craft out the cement like crazy in this one forge. I'm going to turn these off so I don't get a screamer though real quick. Now keep in mind, this is all early game stuff. Late game, you'll be crafting out other things, of course, and you'll have, you know, the forges really running all the time. And there is no fix. There's nothing you can do with the forges to not get the screamers to come in. You know, the old legacy version, you could put them at bedrock and it would not spawn in the screamers. Well, you can't do that anymore. You're going to get screamers either way. And then once you get a cement mixer, you know, you'll be crafting out the concrete mix like crazy, which takes crushed sand, small stone, and cement. So now you kind of see why it's nice having its own forge blasting out the cement, because honestly, in my opinion, cement is the hardest one to find. You can make crushed sand in the cement mixer with stone. So you just take regular stone and make crushed sand, and then you also need cement and stone to make concrete mix. So now you see kind of why an early game mine is okay just getting stone. It's okay working all night getting stone because there is so much that goes into concrete mix that takes stone. And you can also just take stone and clay soil and make cobblestone rocks. This is what you need to upgrade your next level of wood. So this is already upgraded to wood. Your next level will be concrete, or I'm sorry, cobblestone rocks, I'm sorry. And then after that will be concrete mix. And so you'll have to have the cement mixer, or you can buy concrete mix from the trader too. Keep that in mind. You can also buy cobblestone rocks from the trader too. They're very cheap. You can take coal and nitrate and craft. If you go to recipes, you can craft gunpowder from your tool belt, but it's a 2-to-1 ratio. Once you have the chem station, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. But right now you can craft a 2-to-1 ratio in your tool belt, making gunpowder. That's with coal and nitrate. Then of course, once you have a workbench made, you don't have to unlock this. You can craft this day one if you have the things, but any ammo just takes bullet tips, bullet casings, and gunpowder. So getting the gunpowder crafted early is good. You don't have to unlock it like you did in the old legacy version. You can just craft just with these things, and these come from the forges, and that you can craft in your tool belt. Nitrate powder can also be used to make farm plot blocks. Those are pretty nice. You need rotting flesh, nitrate, clay, and wood. And rotting flesh you can find on the roads. You just chop up the bodies or those little bone piles. You can also cut up dogs to get rotting flesh too. All right, guys, I think that covers the mining tutorial. If I missed anything, please let me know, but I kind of wanted to just do like a mining tutorial for the people coming over from Legacy or just brand new players. Just kind of a mining 101, and like I said, there's a lot of tips in here, but I'm sure I missed some stuff, so let me know. I'll be working on an actual in-depth forge tutorial also, so look for that. And if there's any other tutorials you want to see me do, please let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to do them for you guys. And I'll catch you guys out there. See you later. Bye.